No, so the whole idea was that this would be a lot more casual. That's why I didn't really send you like prompts.
I like casual, like that works.
I can't. It's the moment it's too scripted. The moment I have to try remember an intro, it's like speech day at school all over again, and it's just super anxious, super paranoid, super.
For those of you who don't know,
Yeah.
like Michelle and I went to high school together.
Yes,
Yeah,
which it makes it even more exciting because it's just.
It's crazy.
You know what? I still remember when I started my Bookstagram and then I found you on Instagram. I was like, I feel so cool because I feel like I know a famous person, and you probably don't feel famous,
I don't.
but I feel like I know a famous person.
I don't
knowing you. It's
feel
just very exciting.
And I'm glad you feel that way, but please don't, because like I've never felt that way. And also people treat me like dirt, so it's fine. I don't get treated like a famous person.
People treat everyone like dirt, so I don't think it's a specific just to you thing. I think people just treat everyone like dirt.
I try not to.
But
I try not to. I'm a very like how I would like to be treated kind of person.
I think what I mean is that the people who treat you like dirt would treat you like dirt,
Regardless.
whether you were famous or not.
Because they do. That's fine.
Exactly. Hurt people hurt people. So
people.
you know. No, I was very excited. And then I still had a whole conversation with myself where I was like, maybe he's too cool to remember that we went to school together. Like
No.
I was so excited. I was like, and then he's signing books. I was like, I'm gonna have to go buy books now and get him to sign them. I was very excited.
I remember.
Very
I'm very bad at like remembering like times and places. Like people invite me to come do a talk or whatever. I don't check anything. Like I literally just climb in my car. So when you had messaged me, because it didn't say like Michelle de Hotman or Michelle like you know, I was just like, oh, it's this person who wants to do a podcast with me. Okay, fine, let's do it. They're willing to come to Pretoria. I'll confess, like I didn't realize it was you until
That's okay.
until last night. So if I seemed a bit stiff in my messages,
No,
I'm so sorry, because
no.
I forget, and then I don't know what I'm doing, and then I just need to get to where I'm going, and I'm like, so thank you. I am still very excited though. Thank you.
You know what the thing is that I actually started the book channel separate to my general Instagram.
And that's why I got confused. But
because
it's a good thing.
I didn't want my Bookstagram associated, like I was still teaching. And often you want to read books or talk about books that might not be 100% PG, and I didn't want the PG teaching Instagram
To like to cross over with
Yes.
the
So
spicy book stuff.
They are very separate for that reason.
No, I'm just saying I'm a dumbass. Like I get confused and I don't know what I'm doing or where I'm going like half of the time, and then I just show up and I'm like, oh my god, it's this person, or oh my gosh, it's this place. And it's my own fault because I don't do enough research. So like you were saying, you overplan, I underplan, I just rock up.
I'm trying to get better. It's like this morning, before I went for my run, because I'm now trying to run every day, and I was still like, oh my gosh, I'm starting to stress, we're going to be late. This was at 7 o'clock this morning.
No, that's too much.
And I was like, I said to Rob at one point, I know, logically, my logical brain knows I'm not going to be late, but my anxiety is like,
and you weren't late, you were on time, and here we are with our umbrellas and our
Exactly.
sunshine and our coffee and everything. So
wonderful.
we're like ready to roll. And I'm really glad to be here. So thank you for having me.
And thank you for saying yes, because I know like time is precious. You got stuff to do.
I'm a whore for opportunities. I say yes to anything. If they ask me to come like open up like a builder's warehouse, I'm like, I'll be there. Or like whatever. Like
Just open a Builders. If they give you stuff, yes. I love Builders.
Yeah.
Builders is so much fun to shop in.
I also agree. It's like boy discount.
And it's at that point that I realized, do you know when you have that moment where you realize you turned into one of your parents without even realizing it?
Yeah, I've been
When
there.
I get excited going to the Builders, I realized I've turned into my mom. Because she always loved going to the hardware store.
No,
and I
it's
never
fun.
understood it.
It's fun. Like if you've got like a house and like you want to do like home improvement and stuff and like drill something or hammer something.
Yes.
My partner, he fixed the fan in my, because I don't do any of the stuff. Like, I just like
No,
lay
Rob
back.
doesn't do it either. I do it.
Oh, nice. So I don't do anything, and like my fan was squeaking in my study, and it was driving him crazy, and he couldn't anymore, and he just like walked in with a step ladder, and I don't know what he did because I was walking out. I was done for the night, and he fixed it, and I was like, what, did you like smack it with a screwdriver? Like I don't know what you do, but
It's just like magic. So
but yeah, he
quickly
loves boy dischem. That's what we call it.
It is
Builder's
kind of
Warehouse.
like, it's like Leroy Merlin.
Yes.
Like the one by us has been set up really beautifully. Like it kind of reminds me of IKEA, if you've ever been into IKEA overseas.
Yes, it is giving like an IKEA vibe. It wants to be IKEA, but it's great. Like I love
It's expensive. I just love walking around it.
I like that you can like just walk into like a kitchen and be like, oh, I can take this from here and like put this in my house for like 50,000 rand.
I know, if I had the money, I could totally have this exact kitchen.
I could have this exact kitchen, yeah. So I do like that. I
Wonderful.
do enjoy going to like
No,
a
it's
builder's
fun.
warehouse and stuff. And sometimes you need to get out just to get inspiration, take a break from like what you're doing.
It
I find.
is.
It's the most helpful thing. Like if I've ever got like writer's doubt, writer's block, I go do the dishes or I go take a walk.
Mundane. I read a thing that said that mundane tasks are actually really good for stuff like that.
That's
when
where
you
it's
get
at.
stuck.
For me, I love taking showers. It's like one of my favorite things to do. Like at the end of the day, I love washing the day off of myself. I like going on
A nice way of thinking
what
of
I
it.
call like a world tour, because I'll do like the entire Chapel Row album in the shower by myself.
That's really cool.
Red Wine Supernova, all of that stuff. But then I need to get like a whiteboard in the shower because that's where I have my best ideas. And then I'm like rushing to get out of the shower, I'm rushing to get dry.
Just like a waterproof marker.
Yeah, this is the thing. I need that because I'm also a skincare person and like I love the ordinary. So like I need to do my skincare routine, but I also need to write this down because once it's gone, it's gone. So I need a whiteboard in my shower.
But you spoke about listening to the whole album, so that was something I recently rediscovered. Because when we were younger, you bought like a CD.
And it was expensive.
And
like you had to be really
and
invested.
You listened to that CD from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, and again, and again, and again, and again. And the CD had like a vibe, you know, like the artists made the CD with like a vibe. And so now when I jog in the morning, I pick an artist and I listen to an album. I don't listen to a playlist. I listen to their whole album from beginning to end, and it's actually been really, really fun.
I love that. I've been doing something similar. So like I pick like an artist of the day, and then like I'll make my way through the entire discography throughout the day. And recently I did Fall Out Boy because we're millennials. Like those are the ones that Fall Out Boy were like peak our sort of generation, and. I mean, I was surprised too because Patrick Stump did the voice of Abel in Has Been Hotel like recently,
Really?
and like he's got like, this amazing segment, this great song, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my high school years. This is Patrick Stump. So I was like, oh, I should go and like see what Fall Out Boy's been doing and like re-listen to like the entire sort of catalogue of music, which I then did, and I was like, I don't know, like I still like it. I think that there's a nostalgia factor there for me. But I don't think I like it as much as what I used to, which is weird. And then I'll listen to other music and I'm like, why was I so angry? Like what?
Yes, oh my word. You listen like, or a song comes on in a playlist. Like I always, when I think about this idea, I always think of like Evanescence.
Love them.
Like Evanescence will come on, especially like Bring Me Back to Life, and you think, why was I so depressed? Literally, I didn't have to work.
Yes.
Everything got given to me, like food, stationery. I just had to go to school. I don't understand why I was so upset at this point in my life and listen to such
No, but this is what I wanted to talk about, right? Like, so it's interesting that you say that because firstly, I don't think that our brains were fully developed because they weren't. We were teenagers.
Yeah.
And I think there's that. But then like I'd been dealing with a lot of anger issues like lately, right? And when I say that, like I would walk into my therapist's office and I'd tell him like this long story and I'd be like, and I'd end it but I'm not angry. And eventually he was like, I was like, but I'm not angry at them. And he's like, are you sure?
You sure?
Because you sound pretty. And I was like, okay, fine. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to be honest with myself if I can't be honest with you. And we were talking about ways of like coping with anger because like he'd spoken about like stories that I'd written. He's like, tell me about this story. And I'm like, I wrote this when I was like really angry. And you sort of like use that anger and you redirect it towards a creative outlet. Which is easier said than done because I forgot how to do that for some reason. I don't know why over the last like 5 years, I don't know what happened. I think maybe I got too stuck in like other emotions. And I forgot like how cathartic it is to just like sit down and write a story when you're angry. But anyway, we were talking about this and I was talking about like what I used to do when I was a teenager, which is like I had this diary and I would write like the foulest things about people that made me angry. They were mostly adults, some of them, you know, but yeah, I used to do that. And he kept talking about how, you know, you've got to use, you know, you've got to find this outlet for this anger and like creativity is a great one. And I was like, oh, you want me to start a burn book?
There we go.
And he was like, I don't know. So, and I was like, I'm starting a burn book. So that's what I've done. I have a burn book now for like all my enemies because it's been a rough road the last couple years. Last year specifically was very difficult. So I'm channeling my anger towards a creative outlet. Which is something I used to do as a teenager and then I forgot how to do it.
But it is, like if you think about it, a lot of the best creativity comes out of emotion. So why not anger? Or why not using it? It's almost like, you know, people joke all the time about using kids as like an energy source because they just have endless energy.
I'd put them on a hamster wheel.
Like, anger is such like a powerful, like, You could use that for so much.
This is the thing, and I was so frustrated, like with my therapist specifically, because I'm like, you keep telling me to do this. Everybody tells you what you shouldn't be doing with anger. Like you shouldn't, like everybody's like, violence isn't the answer, and you shouldn't be punching people. Because like I was at a stage show a while ago, My Fair Lady. It was crazy. It was filled with like people who were like 100 years old. I've never been among that many old people at the same time in my life. It was fantastic.
Pick and pay on a Wednesday.
Yeah, it was very much like that. Like they came with like their oxygen tanks and like their purple hair, and it was beautiful.
Oh man.
But there was a woman in front of me who like, theatre etiquette is dead. You know, you pay a crazy amount of money to go and watch people sing and dance live for you, and then like you've got aunties on their cell phones, like during, you know, it's not interval, like people are singing, they're performing for you, and I can see what you're texting. And I was so annoyed, and I had a box of Astros with me. And I was like, I'm going to throw my Astros at this woman. I just wanted to hit her cell phone, and I stopped myself. I was like, no, let's not do that, because that's probably like assault. But I was so annoyed with her, and I still think about it. So like, if you're out there, and you're at My Fair Lady, and you are on your phone, I got it out for you. But
you're on the list.
You're on the list. You're in the burn book.
You're
in the burn book. But yeah, I was just like, that's not a great way. Like, you shouldn't act out. So they tell you what not to do with anger, but they don't tell you what you should do with anger. And that's what was frustrating me. And then I actually came across a video of Alanis Morissette talking about anger. She was talking about You Ought to Know, and how she wanted that to be the lead single on the album that was coming out. I don't know all the details, but she was saying anger gets a bad rap. It's actually like it's a powerful emotion that can be used to move worlds. But instead it gets a bad rap because we associate it with destruction and violence.
Exactly. And you know, I don't know, I've been doing a lot of, it's about like accepting that emotion, because it's one.
That's the first thing you have to do.
It's not that all the emotions are bad. It's not that sadness is bad. And like, it's about actually just feeling it.
Yes, and acknowledging it.
And there's also like, the thing I've been struggling with is that there's a fine line between venting and like helping release that emotion or that thing that.
And
like,
you have
made
to self-regulate.
So and like talking shit. Big difference.
I do
because
like,
you can get lost in the talking shit, and then that thing that's upset you becomes your whole personality about that topic.
Exactly. And then like it pushes people away from you.
Yes.
Like you become like this angry person that nobody wants to talk to anymore. But I think there is a way to do it. And I think like acknowledging the emotion first and being like, okay, cool, I'm sad. What am I going to do about it? I'm going to go eat my weight in McDonald's. No, that's not a good way.
Not the best one, but like.
But I'm going to phone a friend and like figure out like why you're angry first, and then phone the friend. Like do a little bit. Like I think a little bit of like self-introspection goes a long way.
It is. It's very empowering to like actually identify. I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm like the emotion you're feeling, and not thinking about it as bad, not thinking about the anger as being bad,
no
or the
feeling
sadness
you feel
as being bad.
Yeah, no feeling you feel is bad. Like actions, like it's how, you know, it's what you do with those feelings.
Just using it to fuel all your creative output.
Yes, and I tell people that all the time, because I hate being asked like, where do you get your inspiration from? I don't think any author likes being asked that question. Because the truth is, it comes from the people like all around us all the time. So like if you behave badly in front of me, and you make me angry, or you make me sad, or you make me disgusted, or like, you know, I feel that way around you, then chances are you're probably going to go into one of my books. But
is it obvious?
It's obvious if you know me. I think if you know me personally.
Oh man.
So my brother recently, he's like my creative partner, or like my critique partner.
Oh yeah.
And like he was going through this book that I've just written. Like hopefully it will be published this year. We'll see if all goes well. And like he could pinpoint exactly who I'd based what off of, but I think he knows me very, very well. If you didn't know me, then you wouldn't know. And like I don't think that it's a bad thing either, because like as much as I take all of the stuff that like I don't like about people, I also take the stuff that I do like about people, and I cherry pick. I'll add, I'll take this one's kindness and add this one's like fashion sense or whatever, and that's how I go about finding inspiration.
It always makes me think of that saying that there's no new ideas.
No.
And everything, because everything comes from somewhere.
No, that all does the hills like.
You see it in everything. So like ironically, Rob is a photographer, and you have certain clients who get really upset that other people are doing similar photos to the photos
Bitch,
that
you
they
don't own the
did.
bouquet throw.
And like it drives me wild, because the thing is that the people who complain about this person stealing my ideas from the photos that I did.
And often they're friends. They're friends?
Always. What's really funny is that person who's complaining came with photos from other dancers of the ideas. So you like, man, I think it is hilarious. It's one of the things that we used to do, like a lot of competitions and events photography. The cattiness within stuff about like possessing like your thing. Like
and that's also the thing. Like that's how I feel like people often ask me about like the books or whatever, and I'll be like, once I put it out there, it doesn't really belong to me anymore. Once it sort of like leaves my space or my computer and it goes to an editor, it goes to a second editor, it goes to a typesetter, it goes to a publisher, it goes to a printer, it no longer feels like mine. It feels like it belongs to everybody. So I don't feel possessive over everything, and also there are some authors that like get cagey about their ideas. They don't talk about it, it's fine. But I think I wrote about this a while ago in my newsletter. It was like I used to be the kind of author, like I'd come to a coffee shop like this and I'd insist on sitting with like my back towards a wall so that no one could read over my shoulder. And like looking back, I'm like, nobody cares about your ideas. Like because they'd have to have like the energy and the willpower to like actually write it, get it edited, pour a whole lot of money and time and effort into it, and then like get it published, and no one is going to want to do that for an idea that isn't theirs.
I don't know. It's true. Like being paranoid is just so much fun. You could think of all the interesting ways that people are coming to steal your stuff. We live, like in general in South Africa, we live in an insanely paranoid country though.
Look, if Netflix were to be like, oh, we're releasing A Prophecy of Flowers and Lightning, and I didn't know anything about it, I'd be like, excuse me, that's different type of stealing. But as far as like idea theft is concerned, as what's on the page and what's in your head, it's not that big of a deal.
It is. I think we also like breathe too much into it. It's like I said, like there's no new ideas. Everybody looks at something for inspiration.
But that's why I love mythology so much, because there are no new ideas. And like that's what I like to write about in mythology or whatever. It's like you'll take the myth of Hades and Persephone, or Eros and Psyche, right? So you've got that myth where you've got this woman and she's like coming into this man's house and she doesn't know anything about him. And then, that evolved into sort of like Beauty and the Beast. And then that evolved into sort of like 50 Shades of Grey, or like any of the kind of like romance that's out there right now, like the dark romance, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing. It's all the same thing. It's just told differently, and that's where the uniqueness comes in. That's where you make it your own. It's like, what is your take on this specific idea that's been around for
It's become my favorite genre. Fantasy genre is retellings. Because I'm a Disney kid.
Same.
I grew up on Disney.
Same.
And I love Disney. Like Beauty and the Beast is my favorite movie. Belle's my favorite Disney princess. Like I love them. And to this day I still watch them. Rob can gauge how upset I am based on if I'm listening to Disney. If I have a Disney sing-along playlist going, he knows I am insanely anxious, and this is my comfort thing.
Yeah, same.
And so when I discovered the genre of fairy tale retellings, man, it's kind of like comfort, but it's new. It's not like watching a movie you've watched 1,000 times, but it's still got that comfort element in it, because you have those things that you see from your favorite.
And I love a good twist. Like as well, like because you're going, I know where this is going, and then oh no, you don't.
I'm in two minds about that, because sometimes the twist is just there for the sake of there being a twist. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not that well read in this genre, so I think you're the expert.
But even in anything, not even like, have you ever read a book where you can see they've just put the twist in there because they wanted to put a twist in? Like it doesn't actually.
I feel you. It
doesn't actually advance the story.
I think to me that happens a lot more with like movies and TV shows than it does with books. But like TV shows and stuff are ruined for me because of like the hero's journey and like and like Save the Cat writes a novel or whatever. It's like you know exactly the sort of structure a story's got and like what needs to happen, and then like people get so annoyed with me because I'm like, I saw this coming, and they're like, how did you know? And I'm like, because when you're a storyteller, you understand like the anatomy of a story and like how it's supposed to work and flow.
I read a lot, and I used to. So like when I was a kid, I used to read incessantly, and it was one of the things that made me really sad, is realizing that media centers or like libraries at school are not as common anymore as they used to be. But so I recognize, because like you say, like once you recognize that pattern, it's so easy to figure out what's happening.
And again, it comes from this thing where like there is no original story. There's a framework. It's called the hero's journey, whatever the case is. There's different beats you've got to hit depending on what type of story you're trying to tell within that framework, whether it's like the pool triumphant or a band of people trying to like rob something. I can't remember what it's called, but there are a whole bunch of different things. And if you're very familiar with how those things fall out, whether you are an avid reader, whether you are a storyteller, whether you're a movie maker, whatever the case is, like you know how it's going to go. And that's what makes a bad movie versus a good movie? Because that's also something that I thought about for a while. It's like, what makes a movie bad on like a universal level? And it's like, it's bad storytelling. That's what it is.
It is though. And as well, I think people have become too obsessed with trying to make something that's artsy and profound.
Yes, I agree.
There's nothing wrong with a good story.
I love some garbage, like I love, like Emily in Paris is one of my, like, I love that show.
I've not watched that, but
It's my best show.
do you know what my favorite type of shows to watch are? Is action shows. And like, you know, like a good,
So like Emily in Paris, but for boys, like
yes,
that, you know.
I love a good action movie where there's like some witty banter and it starts out and then you know that at some point the hero's gonna like almost be beaten and then he's gonna start winning.
Die Hard is beautiful
Man,
to me.
see, Die Hard, great. Any Jason Statham movie.
Yes, anything. Like there was that one movie, I think it was called Crank, where he had to keep his like heart rate up. I'm like, perfect, I'll watch it. I'll watch it again.
And I'll watch it again. I'll watch it again and again and again. I love a good action movie.
And John Wick is so good.
Yes.
Like, oh my gosh.
I struggled.
With John Wick?
It was the dog. I can't do the animal. And the thing is, I knew it was coming. So I remember hearing about like the story. Spoiler warning: if you've not watched John Wick,
Yeah, like
the dog dies
from 10 years ago.
Sorry. So I knew it was coming. And then when it came, I was still like crying, like ugly crying. And then I was like, I completely understand. It is the thinnest reason for revenge. But dear Lord, if somebody hurt my cat, I would completely understand murdering.
If I had his resources and his talents and his trauma, like I think you get it. But that again, it's good storytelling. You understand why the dog means so much.
And it's crazy because it is like it's a dog. Like when you think about the premise of the movie, he goes after the people who killed his dog.
Yeah, and they address it in the movie.
It's good storytelling, like you say, to justify why it was so important.
But I think they ask him directly in the film. It's like all this over a dog, and he's like, it was not just a dog. And I'm like, okay, cool. This makes sense. So like even there, it works.
Is.
I like John Wick. I like the universe that exists in like that whole like underworld of hitmen and.
I haven't even watched the new movie yet, but it looks amazing.
It's good. I like Ballerina too. Like Ballerina was like a nice.
Like
what do they call it? Like in universe. He's in it. So yeah, I think I've got a passion for storytelling when it comes to that thing. And you're right, there are no new ideas. It's just being recycled. And it's like, I think creative people need to ask themselves, like, what can I bring to this? Like, what am I trying to say with this? And then work it out like that. And it was interesting watching all of the Wicked stuff happen over the past like 2 years.
I haven't even watched a single one.
I love it. I'm obsessed with it. But it's just weird because you've got sort of the source material, which is Gregory Maguire's book, which is very dark. It's very different from the stage show, very different from the movie.
So is the musical based on the book, or is the book based on the musical?
So the musical is based on Wicked. The musical is based on the Wicked, the book by Gregory Maguire, which is based on The Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
By L. Frank Baum. So again, it's like you pick. Okay, fine. In this regard, it was stuff that was in the public domain, which happens all the time as well. So he took something that, what was it? Gregory Maguire took something that was already in the public domain. And ran with it, and he decided to tell like a very political story. Like in that book, it's not as magical as what it is in Wicked.
Okay.
The book is very political. It's got a lot of like religious themes, stuff like that, and it's very interesting. It's a great book, but it's not what the stage show is. There are still elements of those themes within the stage show and the movie, but very, very different book. But he was sort of like an author that did that kind of thing before already. Like he'd already done like Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister, so he was already like inverting and retelling.
I know he's done one for Alice in Wonderland as well. There's an Alice in Wonderland one.
Yeah, so he was already doing that, and again, like it comes back to that idea that there are no original thoughts or original ideas. There's just
there really isn't.
It's how you can make it original as an individual and what you can bring to the table.
But it's like you say, it's all actually about a good story. You will forgive a lot. I think I was at book club the other day and we were discussing how I used to hate romance books. Really, I did, because they just seemed so ridiculous to me. Like, who do you know who fake dates? Like, I mean, and it's one of the biggest, like, and it used to drive me a bit nuts. And then we were discussing it.
I know people who fake date. They're in like primary school.
I really live a very sheltered life.
But that's because what you do.
But like, so this is the thing, and then we were discussing at a book club, and we said you've got to kind of embrace the ridiculousness of the story. If you're trying to make it fit into the real world, you're going to struggle with every book.
Yeah, so
it's about embracing like the story for what it is.
So that's the thing that they talk about a lot in writing, and it's called suspending disbelief, right? So like your reader is willing to go into a story and they're willing to believe that dragons exist, or they're willing to believe that two people would actually go or fake date or whatever the case is. But in order to keep that disbelief suspended,
Yes.
you've got to do a lot of other work as far as like the world building is concerned, characters, decisions, the way characters are written, that kind of thing. So like as long as you can keep everything else around the bullshit that you're writing very believable, you're good.
That's going to be my new slogan for anything. Just keep everything around the bullshit believable.
Yes,
and
there we
then-
go.
And then it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, and it's like that
gonna be
with
okay.
life as well. Like I mean, like I bullshit my way through everything. Like
Oh no, man, I'm terrible. If I could, like working from home, it's one of the few things that's been very bad about working from home. I don't really have to leave my house.
I love leaving my house.
And I hate leaving my house.
I work from home. I love leaving my house. Like I came out here, I was here an hour early just so that I could get out of my house.
I hate leaving my house. We recently moved, so it's now reached a level of comfort again, like my old place did. You know, I'm comfortable enough at home that I don't have to leave. And yeah, I have books. I don't need to leave. I have 100 worlds on my bookshelves. I don't know why I ever need to be leaving the house. And I can get everything delivered, which is also terrible.
That does make a lot of sense. I think I start to feel a little bit claustrophobic because like I'm working from home,
Yes.
I'm living at home, and I'm very comfortable. Like my space is my bedroom, and like my bed, and like my TV, and like that's what I like to do after like a long day. I'm done now. I'm done writing. I'm done working. I'm done making money, and now it's time just to like shut off a little bit. And that is my happy space. But then I noticed after we moved sort of to Pretoria that like I did struggle. And it was weird to me because like I have all of the space. I've got this beautiful office. What is going on with me? Why can't I write? And so I started going out, and that did help a little bit. Look, there were other issues that needed addressing, but
It's one of those things. It's like sometimes you need to get out. I don't like leaving my house if you have to ask me voluntarily, but I'll always go, I need to like motivate myself and go, that's a really cool coffee shop. It'll be really fun if we go work from there
totally,
today.
yeah.
You know, if the only time I leave the house is to go do groceries, it's just depressing.
Look, I also think it depends. And like we're living in this age where like everybody wants to set up a boundary and everybody wants to like, you know, there's like this weird stuff around people, but like what a lot of people don't realize is the effort that you put into a relationship is the effort that you get out. So sometimes I'll get an invite to something and I don't particularly want to go. But I know that it's important to go if I want to sustain my relationship with this person.
Yes.
So then I go and I actually end up having a much better time than what I'd anticipated. So like I try and lowball everything. My expectations are always on the floor until I get somewhere.
I mean, it's not a bad way to do it.
Because then if I'm disappointed, I'm not disappointed. Or if it's bad, then I'm not disappointed. And then if it's great, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So I just keep everything like on the floor.
I don't know. I also realized I'm trying to enjoy like new experiences, like stuff that I haven't done yet, or because you do like you go to your favorite restaurants and you know your favorite thing on that menu, and so you just order it.
And if the service is good, that's my biggest thing. And you order it, and yes, yeah.
And it's just part of me goes, I know I like that, and if I order something else, it might not be as good, and then I'm just going to be disappointed.
And you feel like you're
with
missing
this
out,
meal.
yeah.
But it's also kind of fun to go, now I know what it tastes like. Or now, so like I've seen tons of stuff on Instagram overseas where they do that cake, like slice of thing, where you bring a cake, and everybody who attends brings a cake.
Oh,
and
yes,
you
I've
leave.
seen those,
You can have
yeah.
like a slice. You can
Of
pick,
every cake.
If there's 8 slices in your cake, you can choose 8 slices, and then you basically leave with a cake made up of slices of it. And I was like, this sounds like a great idea. I love baking. I love trying like different cakes. This would be awesome. I went to one. It was awful. I hated it.
I'm a germaphobe. That sounds like a nightmare to me. Like I don't know what's in your house.
It was terribly organized.
Really?
I had the worst time. I get claustrophobic in crowds. So like during COVID, a bunch of stuff happened, and I developed really bad like anxiety in crowds. And it was crazy for me because I used to go to like concerts and bars to watch live bands.
Yes,
and like I was always
like,
in a crowd. And now I just like, I can't. And it was one of those things, the moment I'm in a crowd and I start getting shoved and pushed, I panic and I freak out and I don't want to be here anymore. I'll leave, I will drop everything.
You see, I would
I'm doing,
never
I'll
put myself
leave.
in a situation like that in the first place. Like,
But you know
concerts,
what, like,
no thank you.
You never go, when I looked at this cake thing, it never looked like that in the videos. And I was like, I've always wanted to go.
Yeah.
And part of me goes, you shouldn't go because what happens if there's a crowd? What happens if you don't like it? What happens if there's germs on the cake? That anxious part of me overdoes it. And then I never try anything new. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to try it once. If I don't like it, I never have to go to one again.
And you went and
And
you didn't
it was
you didn't care for it.
terrible.
But
It was awful.
I like the intimate things people are doing these days. So I'm like, do the cake thing, but like do it with like a group of friends. And like do it at your house so that
that
you've
sounds
got
really
control. And like
nice.
I feel like that is a lot of like people stop themselves from living because they don't know who they are. And for me, I'm like, I always go, okay, cool, I've been invited to this thing, or there's this thing happening. I would really like to go to this because I know myself.
Yes.
Like we did that candlelit thing, Bridgerton. I
Oh,
don't know what it's
yeah?
called. We were at the Foottracker Monument.
Oh, I heard about that.
It was
thing.
beautiful.
Yeah,
It was beautiful.
amazing.
Except for the two people who wouldn't shut the fuck up.
etiquette in
I
a
saw
crowd.
you, I heard you were drunk. You were in like a literal echo chamber. You spoiled it for everybody. You're going in the burn book.
Burn book.
Where was I? Oh yeah, so we went to the Bridgerton like candlelit, and that was beautiful. That was exactly the kind of event that I'd like to attend. I know myself well enough. But again, I like to try new things, whether it's a product, whether it's like my boyfriend says that I am a marketer's wet dream because I will buy anything, and it's true. Like sometimes I have to go, okay, no wait, this hula hoop, this weighted hula hoop's maybe not such a good idea. I bought it, I did. I used it twice. So in that regard, like it's a bad thing, but then the other things where I'm like, I'm so glad I tried this new restaurant. I'm so glad I tried this new product. I'm so glad that I found something that like I identify with. Am I glad that I bought like 8 Labubus last year? You know, no
I don't know.
regrets.
Actually, you know what?
No regrets.
Exactly.
I love my
Have no
Labubus.
regrets. We get too comfortable doing stuff and being in our own little box and thinking everything else is bad. And I think that's why, like that cake thing, I'm glad I went.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy it. I think a lot of, now that I look back on it, I think a lot of me not enjoying it was the organization and not necessarily the idea.
Oh yeah, totally.
But I'm glad I did it because otherwise you spend your whole time going, oh, I wish I had actually done that thing.
But now
or
do
I wish
it,
I
like,
experienced that thing.
Take that idea and run with it and be like, I enjoyed these elements of it, so this is what I'm going to try and recreate. And do that at home, or like you can hire a venue and you can do it
Yes.
with your friends. And then I like being in control. I will say that. Like I'm a bit of a control freak. I want to know exactly what's going on, what's happening. I'm comfortable with that like level of responsibility as well, where it's like, okay, cool, I'm the host, so that means I've got to make sure everybody is happy and like everybody, I love it. But yeah, like again, like you got to tailor those situations like to yourself
It is.
and like to who you are.
It is, and it's also, it's like you say, it's about making it work with you. So last year, Calabash was Green Day and Offspring, and I absolutely love Green Day, and Rob absolutely loves Offspring. I was like, we have to go, but crowd anxiety. When I used to buy tickets for a concert, I was Golden Circle. I stood on the front as close to that stage as I could possibly get, and I camped out
Remember
there
Coke
from the
Fest?
beginning. Exactly. That is exactly it. Like, it was Golden Circle. You were right in the front. You wanted to be able to think about touching them, and it actually looked like it was possible.
Yeah, you
like,
wanted,
you know what I
wanted
mean?
like when they flip their hair, you want to get their
The
sweat
sweat
droplets
needs
on
to,
you.
you know,
Yeah.
and so when I bought tickets for Calabash, I was very stressed because I'm going, I want Golden Circle. I have adult money now, I can actually afford Golden Circle, you know, and then I'm going, but there's a crowd. I don't want to stand in that for hours on end. So I ended up getting a seat next to an aisle.
Clever.
Best decision
Yes.
I ever made, because nobody stands on the stairs during the performance. So I have no one next to me. I can stand on the stairs. I have all my space. Best decision ever.
And you-
made it work for
Exactly, make it work for
my
yourself, know yourself, because like
mad
I know
experience.
that like my comfort is like very important to me, and this sounds like such like a pussy princess thing to say, but it's true. Like I value my comfort, I value my
Yes.
time, I value like my peace of mind and my mental health and all of those things. So if I know a concert's not for me, like to sit there and stand and be charged like, I don't know, 80 Rand for a beer or whatever, like it's not going to work out for me. Like I'm not going to be a happy camper. That said, we went to Ed Sheeran a couple of years ago, and that was amazing. That was fantastic. I had a really good time, and we got in and out of there. Again, I had all of this anxiety because I was like, oh my God, it was like, well, that other concert where everybody got robbed was like the week
Oh,
before.
my word. Yes.
And I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to become of us? And we were fine. Like that anxiety sometimes it takes over, and you shouldn't let it.
It is, but I think that's also, it's one of those important things where you need to know your limits, like you say. You need to know what
Yeah.
works for you, but make it work.
Know thyself. Like,
Yes.
but I wanted to ask you, are you going to go to Calabash this year? Because
No.
it's Muse.
You know what? I love Green Day. Love Green Day. I know every single one of their songs. Offspring, also pretty enjoy. I don't love Muse.
See, I
You gotta
love
understand, I
Muse.
need to fight my anxiety to go. My anxiety of being late and being stuck in traffic. My anxiety of finding my seat.
Joburg South. Can we talk about Joe Benedicto?
I need to really want to fight my anxiety to go, is what I'm
Yeah,
saying. And as much as Muse is nice, I don't love them enough to like go.
See, I probably would. Who else is playing?
Simple Plan. And then I apologize to the bands, but the 3 other bands that I don't know.
I have not
all.
listened to Simple
And
Plan.
I think Prime Circle is one of the bands that's also going to be there.
Jeez,
But
are they still around? Good for them.
good for them.
Good for them. But
But as it was pointed out to me, Prime Circle being there is not the reason to go, because you could see Prime Circle quite often.
anywhere, anytime.
Anywhere
You could book
in
Prime
this
Circle
country.
for your birthday
If
party.
you have enough money, you can book Prime Circle yourself. Like, it is not enough reason. If I had enough money, I wouldn't need to fight anxiety. I could just book Prime Circle for myself.
Because I love
So-
Muse. I listen to Muse a lot when I write. But again, I'll just make you artist of the day. It's okay, I know myself.
You see, it's also like, I don't know how to explain it. Trying to explain to someone who didn't like going to concerts why being at a concert is like, there's like an energy when you're surrounded by people who kind of love the same thing you love.
Yeah, I've heard of
And
this.
it's when I spent from the time, so I think the 3 bands that were at Calabash last year were Green Day, Offspring, and Folk of Politica. So the lineup was Folk of Politica, Offspring, Green Day.
And it's an elite lineup. Like, that's
Okay,
like really cool.
that was like a big time.
Yeah, we love Folk Off.
Okay, now we got stuck in terrible traffic on the way in, so we missed half of Folk of Politica, which, in all honesty, no offense, I was not that sad about, because that's not why I came.
Just come to Pretoria. You can see there.
If I have enough money, like, birthday party. But from the time Offspring started, I stood the whole time and jumped around, and Green Day the whole time.
And you had like a really good
And
time.
I had an amazing time. And there's something about, I still try to explain it, as I used to go to pubs and stuff all the time. I used to go to Coke Fest and Hot Joburg and spend the whole day there, and being around people who love the same thing you do and are loving this experience like you are loving it. There's just something about that energy that is just
It's interesting
absolutely amazing.
because like I heard this comparison drawn between people who belong to like mega churches. And like, again, like, no hate to like
Yes.
whatever you believe in or
Yes.
whatever, but it's like, okay, cool, they do, it's not a sermon, it's a performance, it's like a circus in there. And then people are like, you don't love Jesus, you just love live music. Like, you just don't get, like, and again, it's the same thing.
But it is that love, that like it's
that you
it's like
experience
a collective.
collectively,
It's a collective love, because you can go to a restaurant or anywhere else, but you're not all loving the same. Like, it's I always remember seeing videos of like those American South churches where they sing. They used to call them
Oh, they're Baptist
happy
churches.
clappy
Yeah,
churches. Where they're like,
Baptists, yeah.
I grew up Catholic.
I'm
We don't
Catholic. Me too.
Okay.
No way.
We don't sing
We're
like that in
culturally
church.
Catholic.
We don't sing like that in
No,
church.
you behave.
Okay?
You behave your
You
ass.
stand there and you feel sorry for any sin you have ever committed.
And
in your
anyone you
entire
welcome
life.
it. Like,
Exactly.
I had this thing
Okay?
about confession. Sorry, I'll let you finish and then I'm going to
And
tell you.
the idea of loving church so much that you dance and sing in church.
You're there to behave, not to like.
Man, I always wanted to go to a happy clappy like southern church just to experience it.
No.
Have you ever like?
For me, that was like the most.
No,
I was like, 'cause-
I've always wanted to. Not that I'm going to America
I-
now
I was,
anytime soon.
I was
but
raised Catholic, like
man.
100%. Like,
yeah, me too.
First Holy Communion, all of that stuff. Like, my grandmother was very Catholic. Like, I come from a Catholic family. We're massive. Like, there are a million of us. And then, like, I think when my father started seeing my stepmother, we got married, and like, sort of the families became blended. She was like in here. So then, like, you're raised Catholic your whole life. Now we're going to in here Kerke, and I'm like, what is this? Like, firstly, why is everybody so happy to be here? You're supposed to be here, like, on your knees, like, and then standing up, you listen to the priest, you keep quiet. And then what is this grape juice and, like, salty cracks? That's not communion. That's not the body of Christ. Like, I'm like, what is this? It was a big culture shock for me. And again, like, I'm not religious in any way or form. Like, some of the subject matter that I write about is very religious, like A Prophecy of Flowers and Lightning. There's a lot of the Bible in A Prophecy of Flowers and Lightning. If you.
Okay, I just want to say I'm on chapter 4, so
on
no
chapter
spoilers.
4. Are you a slow reader? When
No,
did you
I just-
start?
Like a week ago.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So
oh well, thank you for reading.
not a slow reader.
Much appreciated.
My TBR is 2 bookshelves.
Yeah.
So
I feel you.
My new thing is I have a pile of South African author books that I've just not gotten around to because I used to ARC read a lot, which I've now slowed down
Well, I'm
on.
glad I'm on your
So
stack.
I'm now going South African author, other book I want to read, South African author, other book I want to read, because I just have too many, and I actually want to read them. It's not even like I read them out of obligation. I actually want to read them
No, of course.
because they're amazing,
but
and I
have the same thing. I've got books that I bought like 2 years ago that I want to read the damn book. I just haven't had, and like I wouldn't describe myself as like a mood reader, but it takes one book to like throw you off and like put you in a reading slump.
Yes.
So I feel like you've got to be very careful about like what you pick. Suzanne Collins is like an immediate for me. Like if I'm in a reading slump, Suzanne Collins.
Fixes everything.
Hunger Games. I still need to read the latest one.
I haven't.
But I know if I'm feeling slumpy, then that's where I need to be.
I wanted to start this podcast, and I have Irini's books. I really want to read Irini's books. I haven't read any of them.
But you will.
I wanted to read your books. I was like, and then I said to Michelle, you can't film a podcast and interview authors when you've read hardly any of their books. You need to like make an effort
yes,
to
you can.
actually read some of these fucking books.
We're
because
here
there's
today and we're talking, and I'm having a lovely time. So
I'm glad.
It's
I'm
all
also
good.
having a wonderful time. Although I've almost fallen off this chair. I hope, Michaela, I hope you take a clip of my face there when I almost fell backwards on this chair again.
I didn't notice.
For like the third time. I feel it in my face. I feel like my eyes go.
No, I don't know. I don't even know what to do with my hands.
I know. I fiddle. See,
I'm
pen,
fiddling. I'm
cup,
taking sips of my
just,
coffee.
you know.
It's good though. I'm having a really good time.
No, I want to make the effort. It's one of those things where I'm not doing it out of obligation. I want to read these books, and I've been having a great time with So what happened was that I started my Bookstagram, and then I got really bummed that I could never go to signings because the authors were not here. And
I'm
then
here.
And then
I'm
Rob
here,
pointed out that there's probably a lot of South African authors, and I was like, that was my goal for last year, was to find South African authors.
And you did.
And support South African
And you
authors,
were
which is
there.
what I did. So when there were book signings for books that I was interested in, or authors that I really liked, I started going.
Yeah, when you
and
hold
buying
ass
books.
all the way from like the East End to like the east of Pretoria.
You must know right now, I live in the East, okay? If I haul ass to anywhere that is outside of the East, I really like you.
Yeah, so
I'm
thank
just
you.
saying,
Thank you for coming to my book signing.
You must know, you grew up in the East, okay? If you haul ass out of the East to go anywhere.
Now I'm hauling ass back all the time. Like that's the problem.
Man, no, and that was it. So that was my goal. My goal for this year is libraries, which sounds really weird.
No, that's fantastic.
But because, you know, like in South Africa, we're very against public service stuff.
Because it's shit, because it's awful. Like,
and so many people talk to me about how beautiful the Benoni Library now looks.
yes, so I've also got a friend who's been using the hell out of the Benoni Library. I've heard amazing things about the Benoni Library. It's got a revamp. It has like a system. Like
Really?
if your book is late or whatever, you can renew the book
Oh,
via
I'm so
SMS or
excited.
something. There's like a portal. So have you gone yet?
No, I
If
haven't
you
gone.
go, please film like a vlog because I want to see.
So that is my current plan. My current plan is to go to the library and see how it works.
Please
and
can I come
how
with
to
you?
get a library card. Yes, it would be so. I so badly want to go. And then we travel a lot for work, Rob and I. So like we were in Polokwane last year for a job, and we drove past the Polokwane Public Library, and I was like. And then when I started seeing them, it's like when you see stars in the sky, and once you see one, they all just like appear out of nowhere.
Or like when like you buy a car and then suddenly there are all these
Yes,
cars on the road that look just like yours.
And once I thought about it, every time we went somewhere, I was like, hey, look, here's the public library for this place, and here's the public. So my goal for this year is to visit as many public libraries as possible.
Well,
I'm very excited.
I've heard very good things about the Benoni Public Library specifically. That's where we were. I was born in Benoni. I was raised in Benoni.
Yeah.
We went to school. I don't know if
I was also born and raised. I was born at the Glenwood.
What Catholic? I was born at the one in Benoni. CBD is
Yes,
the yeah.
Glenwood
I was born there
Hospital.
too. That's crazy. What Catholic church you go to?
St. Patrick's.
Ah, okay. I was at St. John the Baptist, but in Brackpan.
Yeah.
I love the stained glass windows. I love the drama
Man.
of Catholicism.
No one can be as dramatic about religion as a Catholic.
I love it because
okay?
it's like Christianity
No
in drag.
one.
Like it's like Catholicism
Totally
is like the drag queen.
Don't tell that to the Catholics because they
No, but
they
that's
don't
what I
that
like
sentiment,
about
but-
it. Like it's dope,
Oh man.
and you can't deny it. Like
And then try to explain like Catholicism to someone who's not Catholic is very difficult because people associate being Catholic with being Christian, and it's not the same.
it's so not. And again,
It's
like
so
I feel like
not
you
the
can
same
be
thing.
you can be Catholic and then you can be like culturally Catholic. And like I feel like that's sort of where I fall into because like you got raised into all of this, and then like I'll sit with like sort of my boyfriend's family or whatever, and they're like they don't get the whole saints thing. And then I'm like,
no, why do you worship Mary?
yeah, and
then
I'm
you
like,
as a
because
Catholic
Jesus
are like,
is busy. Okay, you only bother him with like the big stuff. Okay, for all the other little cookies, you go to the saints and you go to the mother, and like that's what you do.
Exactly.
Okay, because they're busy.
Exactly. I always used to explain it when I used to have tons of friends, especially like Anglicans also kind of have saints. They're very similar to Catholics.
Yeah, they're there.
So they kind of understand. But I used to have a lot of Methodist friends, and they don't have saints.
Yeah,
and
they
they
don't.
don't really think about Mary as much as Catholics do, because we love
Mary and the rosary.
Mary, okay, and we love doing the rosary, and we love a good statue. Like,
oh, but this is what I wanted to tell you about confession.
Man.
Right?
Yes, yeah.
So like I feel like you hear things, you know people, you see things, and like I'm a gossip of note. Like if I wasn't such a gossip, I don't think I'd be able to write books. But I love gossip. So I'm hearing things. And I was having this conversation with someone the other day, and I was like, I feel I haven't been to confession in a very, very long time.
Man.
Obviously because I'm not religious, so like why would I? Like I was just raised within the Catholic Church, so I get it, and I think you feel the same way. Like you just get, okay, that's such a Catholic thing. But like I want to go, like if I was in a congregation, I would go to confession and I would tell the priest all the stuff everybody else was up to.
My word.
And I would use it as like a gossip, like I'd be like, and this one did this, and that one did that, and can you believe the goal of this one? It's not about my sins anymore. I'm telling you
what
how fucked up other people
done.
are, and that's what I do.
Now that you've said it, I think like one of the perfect, like if you were a horrible gossip, becoming a priest would be the best thing, because you get to hear
Definitely
everybody else's, which is probably not the
That's
reason
not the
you
reason
should
they
become
do
a
it.
priest.
Like
But
I've met so many
you
lovely
get
priests,
everything.
like really, really nice priests, and nuns too. Like they're very sweet.
Man, nuns were always terrifying to me as a kid.
But that's why I can't be a priest, because I'm too much of a gossip. Because like I'll leave that confessional and I'll be like, Sister Mary, you will not believe what I just saw. That's no, I'm right where I need to be.
No, but it's have you ever watched Dairy Girls?
I love Dairy Girls.
I struggled, like I said, when you like date someone or have interactions with someone around religion and they're not Catholic or they don't know Catholic, it's very hard to explain
It's
things.
very hard to explain, yeah.
Watching that show, that nun, and I said to Rob,
Sister Michael.
Yes.
I think her name is
Sister Michael. I said to Rob, you could never watch a show where I could explain to you the humorous side of being Catholic more than that show.
No, she's fantastic. She's such a great character.
Is hilarious.
Because
I absolutely love that show.
I think what happens with a lot of people like sort of outside of Catholicism, they forget that like people like priests and nuns are people. They're human beings.
It's like how people forget teachers are
Yeah,
human
yes,
beings.
definitely.
Same
Teachers
thing.
do forget that teachers are human beings. And then you see them outside of school and you're like, oh my God, like you short circuit. Which is like so unnecessary. Like it's just a person. Like you can say hi. Like don't be, I want to say don't be weird, but I always make it weird.
It is, and you know what the thing is that you, like me, as I used to be a teacher, and I want to go. Don't make it weird. Like you as a kid, I always used to tell my kids, because some schools have rules that if you see your teacher outside of school, you're supposed to greet them. It's an actual. Some schools do it. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think that's nonsense.
I always used to tell my kids, if you don't want to greet me, don't greet me. I mean, don't be rude.
Like you're out there on your own time.
But
like don't kick me, but you don't have to greet me.
You don't have to like walk up to me and greet me. You can walk past me and pretend you don't know who I am. I will not be offended, okay? And the funny thing is that I'm trying to make them more comfortable. But when I see one of my teachers from when I was at school, I act like a complete and utter fucking moron. It is.
No, I turned into a bitch. Like
Really?
Yeah, it was bad. I was so angry. There was one specific teacher that like nobody really had all that much time or respect for, and like in hindsight, like I feel really bad, but like at the same time, like be the kind of teacher that you'd want to have. And like maybe you're too old, maybe too late. Sometimes like I look at teachers and like I don't know why you became a teacher, because it's very clear that you fucking hate children, and I don't understand why you're here. And this is it. I'm not saying teaching is a very, very difficult job. I think it's a fantastic profession. And like I'm actually writing about this in my new newsletter because I bumped into Claire Wilson recently.
Nice.
And it was so amazing to see her. She was like a grade 8 English teacher that we had back in high school. And she, like I said, teachers are makers or breakers. And she is a phenomenal maker. Thank you so much.
Anything else?
We're good for now.
Yeah.
I'm good for now.
Yeah, I'm good for now. I'll order something just now. Thank you so much.
So these teachers that are like absolutely phenomenal at their jobs, and then teachers not so great because they hate the kids.
True.
And so I saw this person in public, and now you must keep in mind we've been out of school for what, 16, 17 years.
Don't the emotions turn you back into a 16-year-old all over again?
No, because now I'm like, I'm an adult. I'm not gonna let you speak to me however the fuck you think you can speak to me.
That's true.
I'm not on your I'm not on your time. I'm not on your payroll. I'm not on your code of conduct. And and this is the thing, just with people in general, not just this instance, but it's like whether you're commenting on a video online, like would you say that to a person's face?
Yes.
And if you would say something like that to a person's face, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, because we saw this teacher out, and she seemed very excited to like see me. So she like grabbed my hands and she leaned in and she's like, "You've gotten so fat." And I was like, I don't know who you think you are. And like the immediate response out of my mouth was, "So have you."
Good for you.
Like, who do you think you are? Like, you
Good
can't talk to
for
people
you.
like that.
I'm
like,
sorry.
I'll tell
know
you who
what?
it was later. You'll know.
Please do. I'm so excited to hear about this later. I don't know. I remember it happened more. It's also really funny. So, like, for example, I had a really good school experience in general.
Same.
Okay, I loved school.
Same, yeah.
I did not have a miserable 12 years, but as I got older, I interacted with more people outside. You know, once you leave school, you meet people
Yeah,
that
hope
are
so.
outside of
I'd
your
hope
little
so.
your
Yeah.
little zone. And it was amazing to me to. It's one of those things where you had blinkers on. I realized that other people hated school.
I mean,
they had a miserable time at school. And then I became a teacher and I realized that there were so many of my teachers that should not have been teachers.
yes, definitely.
And I'm not saying that in a mean way. Teaching is not for everyone. It is very hard.
Yeah, but if it's not for you, get out. Because
And-
you're going to break somebody. Like,
The scary thing is that the entry requirements to like become a teacher, it is too easy to get into a teaching degree.
no, I wouldn't know. I
Okay, it is one of, because they need teachers so desperately, they will, it's like the entry requirements. You know, like if you want to study medicine, you have, the requirements are very high.
Yeah, you got to do like backflips through
Okay,
hoops.
it is very easy to get into teaching. It's not easy to get a teaching degree, but it's easy to get into university for teaching. And there are a lot of people who are in there because they needed to get a degree and it was the easiest one that they could get. There are many people who should not be teaching children.
Yeah, and
So many people. And when I look back on, like, I am terrible Afrikaans, always have been.
trappen van vergelijking.
But I credit a lot of that to one specific teacher who was really mean to me when I was in primary school.
I see, yeah.
And like, she should not have been
Yeah,
teaching.
I had an Afrikaans
should
teacher in
not
primary
have
school
been
as well,
teaching.
and she was a monster. And I was like, I don't know why you're teaching. And then when we got to high school as well, there were also like a couple teachers where I'm like, I don't know
Man.
why you're still here. Like, I'll think back on it and I'm like, who was letting these people teach? Like, legally, like,
When I think back, especially like at high school, did you ever do science? But did you ever have Mrs. White?
she was lovely. I liked
Okay,
her. I was never in her
I
class,
loved
but
Mrs. White. But
because I never took science, I was too stupid. Like, I took home ec.
especially when I entered teaching and I look back on some of my teachers and I think about how did they let this stuff happen? Like Mrs. White, bless her soul, okay? Rest in peace.
She was
Mrs.
dope.
White.
Oh, she dead
was
now?
amazing.
Is she dead?
Okay. I think
Oh,
so,
shit,
as far as I
okay.
know. She was quite old when we were there.
I mean, like,
Okay.
she was like smoking between periods.
Now that's my thing. She used to let us out of class, and then she used to take her ashtray and her cigarettes and go stand by her door on the balcony and smoke.
That would not fly today.
No!
I don't think that would.
Are you crazy?
Because in between periods, she would monitor the staircase.
Yes.
In between puffs of cigarette,
While
telling the
smoking her
children to like
cigarette.
keep to their
Yes.
left. Yeah.
Man alive, I loved her. She was the most amazing teacher.
Yeah, Mr.
And
van
it's also-
Papendorp was also amazing. I loved
Yes,
him. He
his
was
little
such a good
Afrikaans
leader.
songs. I also Miss Olivier,
Mrs. Olivier was dope.
who I loved. And then I still remember she always used to bring her bearded dragon to school with her.
And
That will also not fly now, by the way.
and Mrs. Eberson
and her
as well.
dogs.
Mrs. Eberson also
Man.
used to smoke like a chimney.
Yes, but her and there was a couple of the Afrikaans teachers because they were all like in a row on that bottom block. They all used to just let the kids out and then walk to that shade net and all go sit and have a smoke.
But like as an adult, I'm like, that's fine. Like
No,
I don't
as
give a
an
shit.
adult,
Like,
I
I don't
don't
care. Like
care.
right now, I'm
But,
like, but I think that a lot of people, they're very weird,
Man,
and
no.
I don't think it would fly today.
No, it would not fly today. So many things would not fly today. Just crazy things. I just no. And now I'm gonna be nosy. Sorry.
Are you gonna be nosy? Okay,
I am.
awesome. So
It's been sitting here in front of me, and I love coloring. It is
You
one
do?
of the things I love
Ah.
doing, and I have never had seen a coloring book based on a book I've read.
Well,
So-
here we go. I mean, I'm not the first. You know, it's like we were saying earlier. It's no original ideas. I think Sarah J. Maas had one before me, but she's had everything before me, bitch.
I've not read any of her books, so I wouldn't know. It's just not very hard.
But yeah, like I think I approached my publisher with this idea.
It is such a cool
And
idea.
I can't believe that they actually like they ran with it, because they were like, oh yeah, fine, that's a great idea, like, you know, send us ideas, whatever, or, you know, send us photographs and inspiration and stuff. And I was like, this is never going to happen. Like, not in a million years will I ever have a coloring in book.
I think it's so cool.
And they made it happen. I still,
Absolutely
like, when I
love
look
it.
at this coloring in book, I can't believe that this was based off of my work. I think, and the other thing is, I had very little to do with this.
Really?
Yes, this is all the artwork in here is done by this amazing artist called Nathan Goos. He's fantastic, and like the publisher did all of the work. I literally just had to approve things, and it was the most amazing experience I've ever had as an author, because
yes.
it's like, so like I sell it, and like that's great and all, and like I do genuinely believe in it, like as a product. I think it's amazing. I think I think it really captures the book really, really well. Prophecy of Flowers and Lightning. But yeah, this I think is like a really nice
So
feather in my hat as an author. I still can't
It
believe that
is
this happened.
very, very cool. I like that idea, especially a lot of stuff in like fantasy. You know, like contemporary romance, for example, is very based in our real world. It's not hard to picture it in your head.
No.
But like fantasy books where there's a lot that is
Yeah,
outside of our realm of
But I
reality,
also
I
think
just love it.
that's what I love about fantasy so much, is that there's so much open to interpretation. Like you can really direct that movie in your head,
Yes.
and you can decide how things look. To a certain degree, but yes, I'm very proud of this for something that I had
cool.
like very little to do with. Like I'm very proud of it.
It's still based on your baby.
It's still based on my baby, and the other thing is like I don't know anybody else who has this,
No,
and I don't mean
really
that in like an arrogant, spiteful, bitchy way. I'm like, wow, this is like really
It's
cool that
actually
this thing
really cool.
exists.
I think it is a very, very cool. I remember, when I went to your signing and I bought the two, I didn't know about your other books yet. I just
Which is weird, because these two books are older than those
two books. Are those kind of more horror?
They are a little bit more horror. They're a little
Yeah.
bit more urban fantasy. They're a little bit more witchy.
I'm not a huge fan of horror. I always approach horror very carefully.
I hear
So,
you.
because, you know, like, it's, sometimes it gets a little too dark for me and I don't cope.
Yeah, you see,
Like,
this isn't like that. Like,
me
this
knowing my
is-
limits, so I've tended to stay away from horror more, just because you never know what you're going to get with horror, because it's such a broad spectrum, like
This
as a
is true.
genre.
This is true.
So I tend to just stay away from it in general.
I
but
think that you're missing out. Like we were talking about, like trying new things earlier,
Yeah.
and I think that that's something new that you need to try. I'm not saying that you have to do it with my books. My books are like,
it just, you know, you're going to get like a phone call.
and
I'm
that's
just
fine.
crying. Why
That's
is this
fine.
today? I don't understand.
Oh,
I'm scared.
No,
I can't go to sleep now.
They're not like that. Like that's not how I approach horror. Like I think
Okay.
I like to tell stories through sort of the lens of horror.
Yeah.
And obviously that does inform the themes and stuff a little bit, but at
But
the
that's
same
a
time,
cool way of doing it. But this is what I mean. So like, that's technically horror, but it's not. And that's why I say I'm always so skeptical and like cautious when I approach horror, because I don't know which end of the spectrum I'm getting.
this is true.
And that can be a little.
So like if there's like one no thing for you, like what would it be? Is it like demonic possession? Is it like disembodied body
don't
parts?
do gore.
Like, you see,
I don't do a
yeah.
lot of like gore. Being like there was blood everywhere, that's one thing. But like in detail explaining how the blood got everywhere, not my thing.
Yeah, you see,
Do you know what I mean?
I feel you, and like so then it's like a body horror thing, like maybe,
Yeah.
or like gore for the sake of gore. Like I think I try and use things like pretty tastefully when I write horror. Like I do have people like the flesh is melting and like things are gross.
I think it's the like in detail, like super detailed body horror. Like I can't do like the serial killer books, and it gets a bit much for me.
Look,
and then
Based on feedback, they say I write monsters very well. Like people like my monsters, and that's great. I don't know if that means that they're scary or if they're gross or like what it means, but like yeah. So we've got like two sort of like urban fantasy, horror, witchy books, and then the mythology books, and a coloring in book
man,
or
I
art
think that's
book
really cool.
that they'd put together for me. So that was really awesome, and it's been a really wild journey. Like it's been crazy.
Really?
Like every year I learn more. With every book I learn more. It's intense.
It's fun though. I guess you, because obviously you wrote them, you can kind of see your growth when you look back from like your books and how.
I never look back, darling. It distracts from the now.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding. I haven't reread anything, like, because like you get so sick of it, like by the third, fourth, fifth edit, like you know that book like the back of your hand, and like it's too much. But I have heard from other people like they've seen the growth. It doesn't, and it's weird because like Ephemera to this day is still like a crowd favorite, like a fan favorite. I don't like
Yeah.
using that word, a reader favorite. I hate that word, fan. But FM is still very, very popular, and like sometimes I'll go back and read like a paragraph or whatever, and I'm like, wow, like I'm very different from the person that I was when I wrote this, but this doesn't make it bad. Like this is still like really good.
I think growth necessarily doesn't also have to be like a bad thing. You see how you've changed over, from there to there, especially because you grow, whether you consciously think about it or not. You're changing as you go through that whole process.
You kind of don't have a choice. Like you have to, whether you notice it or not. Like.
Right.
You don't have a choice. But it's been a great journey so far, and like I say, every year gets better than the year before. So I'm just going to keep trucking along, and I'm going to be using my anger as a machine to like move me forward.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to like when your new book comes out to read it, thinking about how you used anger to create it. Like it's a cool thing to like think about.
So it's interesting. Like I think when I was writing the book, there was a lot of grief there, and there was a lot of like, it was very difficult because that book was actually stolen, like not like in an intellectual property kind of way. It was literally on my laptop, and my laptop was stolen.
No.
So I had to restart. I had like the first 7 chapters done, and I had to restart from scratch. It threw my publishing like timetable like completely off. It fucked me like so bad. So there was a lot of grief that I poured into that book. A lot of like other emotions, and it's the end of a series. Like this is the 3rd and final book in something that I've dedicated like the last 4 or 5 years of my life to, which is crazy if you think about it. But it's more about like the marketing and like the getting it out there. Like that's what I'm using to the anger to sort of motivate.
I don't know. It's like I could never write a book, but I appreciate the. It's like a piece of you. Like
I think like it's like I said earlier, like I think while I'm creating it, like it does feel like a piece of me, but then once it's out in the world, then it's done, then I'm done with it. It's almost like processing. It's weird because like I know like with each book I was trying to say something, I was trying to do something with it, and it does feel very, very personal to you, until it's time to let it go. And then once I've let it go, then it becomes everybody's, and then it's a little piece of me that's hopefully inside all of you.
So, I know you said you're working on the last one. I want to know, what book are you really excited about this year?
That's coming out.
Yes.
Oof.
You're allowed to say yours, but like low-key, you're not allowed to say yours.
Like, to be honest with you, I'm not like, I know that like it's a big thing to like be on Book Talk and like be excited for new releases, and like it's all very like rah like what's new, what's next, and I really struggle to exist in that sphere of things, outside of like sort of movies. Like if I know a movie's coming out, like I'll be excited for that, like if it's a director that I like, whatever. With books it's a little bit difficult. Like last year we had Catabasis by R.F. Kuang.
Oh yes, yeah.
And like there was a lot going on for all of that. It was like very much, the marketing was very much in your face. I read it last year, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really great book. I had a good time with it. But I can't say that like, oh my God, I'm so excited for like this thing that's coming out in November, because I'm not aware, like I'm plugged out of that.
Just not.
I'm
not aware of like big publications coming out. Does that make sense? I have like a ton of indie authors that I follow, and there's a couple who are releasing like a book from the next book in their series, or releasing a new book. That like, those are more the ones that I'm excited about. I realize that I'm very out of the mainstream big publishing release updates. So when one of my book friends was like, this book just came out, I was so excited, I was like, I had no idea.
I had like when Suzanne Collins, I love Suzanne Collins, like don't get me wrong, if she writes, I'd read her like grocery list, because I think that she's such an amazing writer. I didn't know when Sunrise on the Reaping was coming. Like I wasn't aware. I was like, it will be there when I'm ready for it, kind of thing.
When I go to the bookstore and it's there, I'll know.
Yeah, I don't think, I haven't done like, I'm getting this book on the day it's released since like the days of Harry Potter. Fuck, that's how old we are.
I know, dear Lord.
But since the last couple of like Harry Potter books, that was the last time I was like waiting in line for a book. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. Like what I hate about what I'm seeing within sort of like the bookish industry, the publishing industry, is like I don't want publishing or books to become like fast fashion. And that's what we're seeing. And like books have got such an amazing longevity to them. It's like a book can be written 50, 60, 100 years ago and it can still be relevant today, can still be picked up and printed and whatever. It's the same with film. Clothing, like again, like I don't want people out there like producing books quickly with AI, like with all of this bullshit, like just to get a product out there to like cram down a consumer's throat. Like I don't want to be that kind of author. I don't particularly want to exist within that kind of like industry. And I think that there are parts of like sort of Book Talk Bookstagram that lean very heavily into that. It's like it's just another form of consumption, because it's like, how many books can I read this year? How many books can I buy this year? Can I fill my library this year? And I'm like focused on like quality rather than quantity.
Yeah.
In my opinion, but if you do what you want, it's just that's how I feel about it.
It's becoming more selective. I did the same thing when I started ARC reading, and I realized it was actually really easy to get ARCs.
Yeah.
As long as and then I overdid it. And then it's like when I realized you can get free books on like a free book, like
you become
Kindle,
like a
stuff your
crackle.
Kindle. Exactly. It's like, you know, you need to do that thing, and then you need to learn how to self-regulate. Like
Exactly,
and
and
I
like a quality over
yes,
quantity.
I only take the books I want to read. You know, there's
And I think like as an author, like I'd appreciate that a lot more, because oh my god, like when we released A God of Flames and Monsters, like I put a lot of effort into. They weren't necessarily ARCs that we sent out, but like we sent them to people. They were on a list. They'd asked to be on that list. Like we then approved. And we put a lot of effort into sending these boxes out. Like if you follow me on social media, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But it was like all the stuff around the book, and I mean those things cost money. It's expensive. So if you don't really want it, please don't ask for it, because like it puts me out of pocket. And there was a person on that list who just never did anything with it. And I was again, you're going in the burn book.
Burn book for you. And as a person who gets boxes like that, burn book.
Yes, burn book. Like, so if you don't really want it, please don't ask for it, because you might be getting it for free, but there is no such thing as free.
No.
Someone along the way is paying for that, especially if it's an indie author. If they're like with the big publishers or whatever, fuck it, like it's fine.
different.
Like they've got marketing budget. But if it's a small author, please don't ask for that book unless you are really going to read it, unless you really are going to review it, unless you're really going to give it the attention that it deserves.
It is.
So yeah, don't do
be
things
that
just so
guy.
that you can get a free book. Like,
Don't be that
it's
guy.
stupid.
Have you ever seen that meme where it's like, to jail, straight to jail?
Oh, the
That-
Monopoly one.
I think, when I find it, I'm going to send it
Yeah,
to you.
please
But
do.
that's
But
that's
yeah,
for
like
you
straight
with
to the burn book.
Burn book.
Burn book.
book for you.
Burn book.
Talking in theaters, burn
Burn
book.
book.
Not reviewing stuff when you said you would,
Burn book. Yeah, and it's okay not to be interested, and it's okay to like even send a bad review.
You know what though? My thing is that I've received ARCs that I did not like the book,
And that's fine.
and that's okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't stop me from making content for you because I said I would.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Totally. And
like, I can still do a cool, release day is coming up for so-and-so. That doesn't mean I'm going, this is a 5-star read. I loved it. I'm just going, release day is coming up, show some hype for this author.
yeah,
if you
and,
like
and
this,
if you like them, because yeah, that's the thing. Like,
Do you know what I mean?
And I always appreciate like an honest review. Like when I'm looking for books to read, I don't look at
Yes.
5-star reviews. I don't look at 1-star reviews, because 1-star reviews is like it clearly either wasn't written for you, or you're a hateful troll. For 5-star reviews, like maybe it was like way too much for you. Like it was like literally maybe the book was
Yeah.
written for you specifically. So I tend to go with 3-star reviews, because I feel like those are the most fair, and those are the types of reviews that I like to get the most. Not that I go into reader spaces, I don't, but when I'm looking for a book, I look for the 3-star reviews. And honestly, when I'm reading the reviews of my books, because I do, they say you're not supposed to, but I do, I need feedback. I look at the 3-star reviews, and they're often the most fair, the most like level-headed. I don't feel, because I do also, you know, you were talking earlier about like, maybe people treat me differently because I don't feel famous, and I'm not, like I'm by no means that. Sometimes I get recognized, which is amazing.
that must be weird.
But like sometimes I feel like people do blow smoke up my ass for the sake of, and like I can tell when you're doing it. So please, like no false flattery. Like please, like I promise you right now that like my book did not change your life on a fundamental level. Like
maybe it
I
did,
mean, they
though.
maybe entertained you and it was great, whatever. But I can always tell the difference between like sentiment and sentimentality, or like when you're being genuine and when you're being saccharine. Like I'm just like I know the difference.
It's true.
So compliment me, that's great, but please don't try and crawl up my backside, because
When I'm finished that book, I'm going to write the most amazing review about how it changed my life.
And I'm gonna be
I
like,
will
Michelle, you're
never
full
be
of
the
shit.
same after this book.
And I'm gonna tell you how
so
full of shit
excited.
you
I'm
are.
going to write that review just for you. It's not going to be the review I post on Goodreads and Amazon, but I'm going to write
I
one
like it.
just for
Just
you.
for me. Thank you
just
so
for
much.
you,
No,
about
'cause-
how amazing that book.
And this isn't like a self-deprecation thing. Like, I think like with my books, there are some really great things in them, and there's some things that I maybe could have done better. But like, there's also, you get to a point where you have to let a project go. Like I'm not one of those people where like I'm gonna hold on to it for 10, 20 years before it's ready. Like I get to a point where like I've made this as good as it can be, and it's time for me to move on to the next thing. Take the lessons that I've learned from this project and use it in my next project. There's a helicopter.
And the last thing I really wanted to ask you,
Sure.
unpopular bookish opinion.
Ooh, I don't think cancel culture works. I think it's bullshit, and I think people need to calm down. Like,
Is that in everything or just book stuff particular?
I mean, like, it happens with the books, but it's like, and I understand like people need to be held accountable and like all of these things, but I think sometimes it gets taken a little bit too far. And then like it makes people scared to talk about stuff. Like I've always been so scared to talk about cancel culture, and I'm like, but who am I anyway? Like, are you gonna?
I get that as well, because it ties in with like stuff being cancelled for stuff that's got nothing to do with the book. So a book I love, I'm now not supposed to love because the author did something weird 30 years ago, and now we're cancelling everything they've ever touched.
And I just feel like you're going into like a very like dangerous territory where like you're telling other people what they need to be thinking, what they need to be saying, what they need to believe in. And I'm a big proponent of that. I do not tell other people what to do ever. I do what I feel is right. I do what I feel is, and I present myself how I feel I need to be presented. But the second it comes down to like you're not allowed to have that opinion, and it's bad for these reasons. Why are you taking someone else's opinion and belief away from them? Why are you trying to change their minds?
That's
it doesn't.
So true.
That part of cancel culture like really irritates me. Where I'm like, oh, that's problematic, and you're not. If you don't like the work, don't fucking engage with it. Like it's as simple as that. If you don't,
It's true. If you don't like it, just leave it alone.
And like, it's like that quote about like getting upset about something on the internet. That's like looking at a piece of dog shit and choosing to step into it. Like
that is the best thing.
And that's how I feel about a lot of. I'm not saying that like. And again, it's difficult. It's treacherous waters to navigate. But I feel like it's gotten like way over the top. If you don't have to go out on like a hate campaign against people. And again, it doesn't work. Like it's, cancel culture's been around for a very long time.
Just leave it alone.
Just leave it alone. You don't have to engage with it.
Leave it alone. Nobody's telling you have to read it. You have to just stop engaging with content.
Yeah, and I see a lot of that, and I'm just like, this is irrelevant because it doesn't work. Eventually they come back, they still have like a lot of money or whatever it is, and if you don't personally feel that you should be engaging with that or that you're supporting this person or whatever, then don't do it. But don't attack other people who have a different opinion from you. So yeah, that's my hot take. Was it hot enough? I don't know. That felt lukewarm to me.
Wonderful. I absolutely don't. I like hearing the things that bug other people's unpopular bookish opinions are the best things to listen to.
And tropes are dead. No.
Because are tropes
I
dead?
wish tropes would die. Like.
Why?
I mean, I understand their value from like a marketing perspective because like it's a very quick way to get buy-in from people. You can be like, it's these things, this is what it's about. But then like, why are you diluting a book that took somebody months, years to write into like a couple different like, sentences? Because I think it's very unfair.
I use tropes all the time.
And they're great.
To help pick the books I want to read. So there are a few tropes that I know are associated with certain things and that I don't like. And so when I see those tropes, I tend to stay away from the book. But I've never thought about it that way. You're diluting a whole book down to these few little things.
And in a space, I feel like in a space where it's very difficult to grab people's attention because like everybody, like you've got social media and it's like walking into a fucking casino and like there's just so much that's like there to grab your attention. I feel like you do need to grab a reader's attention like very quickly, and that's where the tropes do come in, like they're effective. But at the same time, I don't like it from an author perspective because I feel like it dilutes this like very complex, very like heartfelt thing that's been put together that's taken months and months of work, sometimes years, into like it demeans it in a way, or like it makes it smaller than what it actually is. So there's that, and then there was one other thing, but I can't remember what it was now. I don't remember.
It couldn't have been that upsetting.
So it'll go in the burn book eventually.
Along with those people who talk in tears. And
yes. There we go. So is this us, Michelle?
This is us.
Thank you so much. It's been lovely.
And it was exactly what it needed to be
because
it was just a nice little chat.
There we go.
That was calm and relaxed and chill.
But for my own marketing purposes,
yes,
I'm going to be at Comic-Con Cape Town this year in April, or end of April, beginning of May. I think it's like the 24th of April to the
Cape Town one.
The Cape Town. Comic-Con Cape Town. If you're there and you're a bookish person, please come say hi to me. I'm going to have a stall. I'm going to be doing talks. It's going to be amazing. And then the people in Joburg are not left out, or the people in Gauteng aren't left out because I will also be at Comic-Con Africa this year.
I'll try come. I'm always in two minds about Comic-Con because I don't like crowds.
They've improved.
And so I always, and you know what the thing is like I'm a small person, and so it is very easy for me to like get jostled and it instantly triggers me, and all I want to do is cry and leave the space right now. I don't care how much I paid for tickets, how much I do anything. So I'm always in 2 months. I always want to go.
Have you never been before? Okay, let me just move out of the sun and then I can tell you. So, and this is for people listening as well. If you're in 2 months about coming,
yes.
If Comic-Con Cape Town It's at the Cape Town Convention Centre on multiple different levels.
Okay.
I didn't feel too particularly overwhelmed there. Like, it was okay. There's a lovely outside area. I could go smoke. I could go have a cigarette, like, on the outside area, which was amazing. Didn't feel too claustrophobic there. With Comic-Con, it's very well organised. They're very about, like, keeping the people safe, like the attendees, the exhibitors.
Nice.
Comic-Con Joburg is a much bigger. It could, like, there were times where it got really hectic, but you can leave the hall. It's taking place in multiple different halls. There's this lovely
that's
outside
wonderful.
space. There's a lot of space outside, food trucks, shade. Bring like a parasol or an umbrella if you're worried about the sun. But there's a lot of outside space. You can sort of like come up for air if you need to.
Like take a break.
So that's one way that you can do it. And then another way is like if you don't want to come every single day, like Saturday is the busiest day.
Okay.
And I think Sunday also gets pretty busy. So if you want to, if you're anxious, come on a Friday.
So
Come
are
on a
like you
Thursday.
there the whole time, like
So-
every day?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, it's a lot. Like, it's a
I
lot,
was
but,
just about to say.
yeah, it wasn't last year, it was the year before. I did Comic-Con Africa every single day. I was there every day because I was speaking every day. My books were present there, so like we were trying to obviously sell and like be there for like readers and people who wanted books signed and stuff. But it was a lot. It was a lot. I felt like a piece of pita bread. I laid down like on the fourth day. I rested,
Man.
and I laid down and I felt about this thin.
I can only imagine.
But it was
it's
good.
also a lot of interacting with people. Like it's a lot of interacting with people, which can be very like draining.
And I love it. But if I had my way, like I would like to be carried out of Comic-Con Cape Town. I want to be wrapped in a bathrobe, and I want to be like placed in the back of a van that's also very comfortable, plush, and I want to be driven home.
There we go.
Like with like a sensory inside a sensory deprivation
Yes.
tank. If I could do that after Comic-Con, that would be amazing. Maybe one day, buy enough of my books so I can buy a sensory
There you go.
deprivation tank for myself.
all proceeds shall be going to this future sensory deprivation time.
There we go. And I'll be smoking inside like Patsy from Absolutely Fabulous, where they smoke inside.
There we go. You've got to be fabulous while you're doing it.
There we go. But yes, please join me at Comic-Con Cape Town this year. I'm going to Comic-Con Cape Town and Comic-Con Africa. It's going to be a blast. Support your local indie authors, not just me, all the other indie authors that are out there, all the other published South African
And
authors.
they're all wonderful. I have yet to meet a local South African author that I did not instantly love because you guys are in general
Shit, lucky you.
really fun people. No, like, you know, in general, when I started this whole thing, I was like, I'm going to infiltrate the South African book scene and find out what's going on here. And every time I've gone to a book signing, authors are like super happy.
Of
like,
course they are.
They're like, no, but like not in like an airy fairy way, like a
Like a
thank you for
genuine-
coming out and this genuine interaction, which is part of the reason I started the podcast. Because when I first started meeting some of the South African authors, I realized that as much as I like their books, liking them as people and interacting with them as people made me like their books more.
And that is great. Like, I think that that's amazing.
And that was the point of this podcast, was instead of asking you the general, why did you start writing? What's your writing process? Like because all the writing podcasts have the same questions. I wanted this to be about like
More than that.
you
and that's great.
having a conversation.
And that's great. Like I sometimes get like identity crisis because like I don't know where I end as a person and where I begin as a product, and that can fuck with me. But like generally it's great.
Man.
Like generally like I am like this is how I am like normally with people.
I don't know. I have yet to meet an author that
Lucky
I have
you.
not gotten along with.
Lucky you, because there's a couple I've met that I want to.
But also, like, are you meeting them as a fellow author, or are you meeting them as like a reader? Because
meeting
they
them as a
probably-
fellow author,
You see,
like-
they might interact differently with me because I am.
Maybe.
I mean, you're trying to sell me something. Let's be real, right?
I'm not
You're
trying
an
to sell
author.
you anything
No,
today.
but you know what I mean.
But
you,
yes, yeah,
you
I
as an
get
author,
you,
when you meet a potential reader, you are trying to sell me on your book.
This is true. And
So maybe they interact differently with me than they do with you.
maybe. And again, like I think I'm privy to like a lot of like the behind the scenes stuff.
So, definitely.
And I could tell you things that would make your toes curl, but I'm not going
Which
to.
he'll tell me later when I turn all the mics
Yeah, there we go.
off.
Yeah, when all the mics go off, then I can gossip. Then
That's
we can
when
go
all
into
the
confessional.
juicy gossip is going to come
Yeah.
out. When
Maybe
all
that should be a name for your bookshelf confessional.
No, but then you have to tell me juicy stuff, which you're not going to want to
No,
tell me.
I can't tell you because.
Exactly. Then what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about tons, but I can't put any of it up, which is kind of going to.
Well, thank you very much, Michelle.
Thank you.
It was great to be here.
So excited.
I
to
had a
have
good
you.
time.
I had a great time. And now I'm going to pause everything because we're technically done.
Can we do that? Clap.